Met many guys who are living in the diaspora who ask the same questions that I have. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program Tamijo on ZimDI TV. This is Current Affairs. A number of people are expressing their frustrations given the political dispensation that we have at home. We have an opposition that has an agenda. We have the ruling party that has its own agenda, and many people are saying we cannot identify with both parties' agendas. Those people have been expressing their voices in so many ways and call themselves the third way. With me is one of them. Somebody who has been writing articles about it, Lloyd Msipa. Welcome.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much, Tommy. I'm glad to be here.
Right. You have written or started writing quite extensively and in detail about the third way. Why?
Well, basically, I think as Zimbabweans abroad in the diaspora, we all have a duty of care towards our country. We all have a duty to try and prefer, possible solutions. What can we do as products of Zimbabwe, to put our country back onto the international map. And one way of doing it is to explore different ideas and synergize and see how we can bring this to a level where the Zimbabweans in the diaspora we debate, we talk about them, we agree, we disagree, and at the end of the day come up with byproducts that can help to solve the problems that are developing us at the moment.
But in a blunt way, one will ask and say, what is wrong with the two main parties that we have now?
Yes, in a blunt way, I would agree with you. The status quo at the moment has left us with spiraling inflation. The two parties are literally not in agreement, by way of preferring solutions to our problems. So what we are saying is that, look, why don't we take the best of both worlds and put them together in what we want to call the third way. That way, we come up with a byproduct, take out the bits that we're in agreement with, and come up with a third way product, something that a lot of people, including yourself, as you mentioned earlier, are in agreement with. The Vanguard Party, as it exists right now, took us through the liberation struggle, gave us back the lands, and we're in a state of limbo because the current opposition is calling for the redistribution of that same land. So we've got actually clashes of principles, clashes of ideas. As a nation, we need to engage the international community, and we have one party working against that, while the other is working for that. So at the end of the day, what we have is Zimbabweans on the ground suffering because of that. The old adage that says when elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. So this third way, concept is to try and take out, the disagreements from this whole thing and come up with a solution that is going to be, amenable to both parties without necessarily being part of, those parties. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But
do you sincerely believe that if MDC was to win elections today, they will take back that land and give it back to the white people?
One thing we should never take for granted is that Rhodesians have not gone away. The traditional hardcore Rhodesian white man has not gone away. They're there in the background. They are waiting for the most opportune moments to take back, whatever was taken away from them. And what we need is an organization that is going to protect the legacy that the vanguard parties have worked for, and at the same time take the country forward.
But is there enough manpower for those people? I know there are people like Jonathan Moyo, like Shumba, and others who have been advocating for the third way. But is there enough manpower to spearhead
to get that project through? There's a lot of manpower. We as a nation, and I'm sure you're aware, 4 million plus Zimbabweans. We are a nation of professionals. We are a nation of educated people. We are a nation. At one time, we're actually the pride of Africa. If you remember, even at independence, we are the most educated cabinet in the whole of Africa. So don't take Zimbabweans for granted. We are in a position to carry that project through. Zimbabweans are the most resilient of people, probably the most educated in Africa, the way I look at it. And if we pool resources together, whether financial, whether intellectual, we can actually, carry this through. I'll give you a working example. The vanguard parties started off in the 60s, right? Nobody, you included, can say you never benefited from ZANU-PF. We all did. We are products of ZANU, right? ZANU has been working since the 60s to date to try and bring back Zimbabwe to us, deliver Zimbabwe back into our hands, right? We are at a stage where we are saying, look, that struggle has to be carried forward. All right. We have the opposition saying, look, no, we want to change. Now the issue is, if you ask the question, it begs the question, change to what? What is it that they want to change? They want to redistribute the land. That's one of the things they want. To who? Right? Zimbabweans are outside the country. Right? So what are we going to give the land to? Because the Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe have been given the land. Right? I've not come across a document, spelling out the economic fundamentals of the current opposition, what they intend to do once they achieve that change. Right? So what they're simply saying is we want change for change's sake. Now, we cannot have that, because what we are saying is that the vanguard parties fought a battle up to a certain point. And the current opposition is saying they want a change. But because the opposition is identified as a Western puppet, there's no smoke without fire. There must be something there. Right? From my own point of view, the Rhodesians are there in the background. And what I'm probably trying to do is to use our state of affairs as a vehicle to get back what they lost in the past.
But someone will say, the economy is down to its knees.
Okay.
The people are suffering like never before.
Yes.
They are testing the will of the people. And what the people want now is something that can get them back to where you live your life, the way you do, or the way you used to do. Go to school, do the things you want to do every time you want to do them.
Yes.
Go to hospital and get some medication.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The situation is that bad. And the question is, how do we get back to where it should have been?
If you ask yourself the question why, to date, the same people you're talking about have not rebelled against the status quo, why they have not taken up other means of trying to get back the country to normalcy, as you would put it. You must realize that the people on the ground in Zimbabwe actually believe in the cause, the land revolution. They believe in that cause. Now, the suffering which people are going through is a combination